If you ask a traditional AI model to summarize yesterday's history lecture or analyze a private business report, it often struggles. Because these models rely on a vast general knowledge base, they lack access to your personal files and frequently try to fill in the gaps by making things up, a problem known as hallucination. This diagram illustrates how NotebookLM handles data. On the left, a traditional AI pulls answers from a chaotic cloud of internet data. But on the right, NotebookLM operates inside a strictly defined box. It forces the AI to look exclusively at the documents you provide, shutting off the path to external guesswork. The engine running this enclosed system is Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro. It has a massive context window, which allows it to process and cross-reference hundreds of pages of text simultaneously without dropping details. Here is the timeline of how this capability developed. It started as a beta called Project Tailwind in 2023. By mid-year, the integration of Gemini 1.5 Pro unlocked multimodal support, and by late 2024, the tool introduced audio overviews to generate realistic podcasts from uploaded notes. By stripping away the ability to pull from the open web, the tool focuses entirely on your specific private data to provide grounded, source-backed results. The architecture making this possible is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Let's break down how it operates. First, the system ingests and vectorizes your source files, turning the text into an interconnected mathematical map of concepts. When you ask a question, the AI searches that map, synthesizes the information, and generates a clickable citation marker linking back to the original text. Because every answer requires a verified link back to your files, the mystery of how the AI arrived at its conclusion is eliminated. To set up your workspace, you log in and create a new notebook. You should treat each notebook like a distinct project folder or a specific class syllabus. Take a look at this graphic. As the central project folder expands outward, you are given a grid of exactly 50 blank source slots. That is the hard limit for how much material you can place into a single project. You can fill those slots with various formats. Google Docs and web URLs work seamlessly, and as the YouTube icon shows, the system can even read video transcripts. However, take note of the red label on the PDF icon. There is a strict upload limit of 500,000 words per document. Treating this workspace as a highly curated digital binder, rather than a general-purpose drive, ensures the engine stays focused and accurate. Once your sources are uploaded, the system provides several unique functions. The Audio Overviews feature processes your text and generates a conversational 10 to 15-minute podcast featuring 2 AI hosts, useful for reviewing your notes while driving or exercising. For deeper research, watch this query node pass through the entire 50-document database. Using grounded chat, you can ask a single question across all your files. The system extracts overlapping text highlights and automatically reformats them into executive summaries, FAQs, or comprehensive study guides in one click. As those highlights are generated, you can pin the best answers to your saved notes board. From there, you select multiple pinned notes, and the AI merges them into a single cohesive essay draft. This workflow adapts to various roles. Students can generate mock exams from syllabi. Teachers can upload state standards to draft grading rubrics. Researchers can map contradictions across 50 peer-reviewed papers, and content creators can extract narrative arcs from rough interview transcripts. Let's pause for a quick knowledge check. Try to recall, what is the maximum number of sources you can add to a notebook, and what is the word limit per PDF? If you said 50 sources and 500,000 words, you're right on track. By turning heavy stacks of static reading materials into an interactive multimodal dialogue, the tool adapts strictly to your specific workflow. The immediate advantages here are clear. You bypass general AI hallucinations and use massive context processing to scan and summarize up to 25 million words in a single notebook. But we have to weigh those against the limitations. As this scale graphic illustrates, you are restricted by the 50-source cap and uncustomizable podcast voices. But more importantly, the tool relies on the quality of your uploads. If you feed it a messy pile of chaotic, unrelated inputs, you will get disorganized answers. That leads to the primary rule of the system: curate, don't dump. Look at how these messy inputs divide. You should not put your math homework and your history textbook in the same workspace. Keep distinct subjects segregated into separate notebooks to keep the AI focused. The AI's intelligence and focus are dependent on the specific boundaries you establish for it. Since you are uploading private documents, data security is a priority. Google has stated that the personal files you upload to NotebookLM are not used to train their foundational Gemini models. Your data stays private to you. The tool is currently free to use with a standard Google account, and it supports collaborative sharing for teams or classmates. The typographic layout highlights a change in how we interact with these models. AI is transitioning from a generalized source that knows a little about everything into a dedicated collaborator that focuses exclusively on the documents that matter to you.